Well, this is a nice view, isn't it? Hi everybody, this is Billy. Welcome to Billy Holman Creations. Let me get rid of that. Look at that nasty thing. That was my mother's in her kitchen. Jeez. Anyway, I'm in my shop. I'm going to just show you real quick my little junk center here that's in my shop. Just very easy. I've got things to the right, things to the left. But now we're, I think, okay to go. Let me tell you what I'm going to do today. This is where I carve my antlers, my gourds, bones, that sort of thing. It's messy. I'm already a mess, and I haven't done too much this morning. Today I'm going to take what I call a sliver of an antler. Now this is an elk antler, and my husband does it on the bandsaw because that machine scares me. So this one's quite thick, and I'm going to have to work it down a bit, but we're going to make feathers today. Check this out. Now, if you can see closely, there you go. I can show you how I do that. I use my Dremel and another tool that's very special to me. I'll be back. We'll get started. Okay, and I hope you don't hear my fan in the background, but it's in the 90s plus today. I'm in my shop. I have the screen door open and a fan going, or else I wouldn't be able to be in here. It'd be too darn hot. Okay, here's my rough cut of this antler piece. Now I need to match the very edge of the bottom at a slant, a very clean slant, to the top of the actual piece itself. Okay, so I go to the not the bandsaw, my band sander, and I've got two pieces here that I've already done. So this is what I mean. There's my bottom, and there is the edge, and that's going to be all the way around to the other side. I think we can get two feathers out of this, maybe one medium-sized feather. We could try for a, what is that, 5-inch feather? Or I have this one here, and I know I was going to save this for a necklace piece and possibly just carve inside. Ooh, maybe I'll put that one aside. Let's use this one today. Okay, now I also, to give you an idea, I also have started this rattlesnake, and this is antler too. So this is what I've got carved on it. Didn't do real good on the diamond back here, but there's the head. It's now I can fine tune it. Look how that snout just pops right up. Almost looks like there's an eye already there. But anyway, I saved that to do in a while, and here it's giving me a nice chunk to cut down and do the rattler. So that'd be another video. How does that sound? Okay, now I had this on the band sander, sanded it down. Now before I do any cutting, I'm going to strip this entire top layer of the antler off. So I have my, oh, I didn't change my bit. I'm going to change my bit, and I'm going to put on my little sander here. Let me do that real quick. Now I've got two Dremels going here, and it's so handy. I can have two different bits. Now here's my Dremel, and I've got my sander bit on it. I'm going to put on a mask. Now in here I just wear hospital masks, or the thicker ones that I don't have. And let me show you, here is a tube that runs through my wall, and the light switch you saw earlier turns on the shop vac that's on the other side, and then I'm able to suck a lot of the air through that, all of the particles. So that's what I've got going. I'll just start this up for a bit and get it done, and then from there I'll show you what we're going to do. So I'm going to sit And I'm going to mute the sound because it's loud. Okay, I apologize for the rug. This is just a scrap piece of carpet or one of those, well, it's edged. It was sampler, I guess we'd say. Sorry, my hand itches. I sanded this Vistacood, went over it once, and then I went over it again just to get bumps off, because when you start carving, bumps are going to cause you a little difficulty, and we don't want that. But I'm thinking, I don't have to worry about a ruler, I suppose. Just going to eyeball it, but I think we're going to make 2 feathers out of this piece here. So we're going to cut this apart. Okay, and then I'm thinking I'm going to have to cut it apart because I'm going to have to sand a little more on the edges. Go ahead. Just go ahead. I'm eyeballing center. That's all I'm doing here. Just going to eyeball that. Could probably smudge off by the time I get what I want to do done. Huh? Same with the other side. Just going to eyeball center. Move it a little bit this way, maybe. Pretty close. I'm going to cut a notch about here. For the edge of the feather. Cut this one about here. Start with a blunt edge. This one's a little thinner, so we can do something like that. And cut another notch here. Always make things bigger than I want, because we'll fine tune it later. Okay, so now my other Dremel here. Whoops, excuse me. They're hanging from a shelf, clanging. This has a cutter blade on it. I could probably use a new one, but I think this might get us through this little project here. So back with my mask and my vacuum. Okay, I have these 2 pieces rough cut the rest of the way. Now back to the sanding disc here, and we're going to smooth out the bottom and just do what we can around the tops of the feathers there. There we go. Vacuum. Okay, I have these 2 pieces rough cut the rest of the way. Now back to the sanding disc here, and we're going to smooth out the bottom and just do what we can around the tops of the feathers there. There we go. Vacuum. You know, I was able to round these down, cut these down. I took a little more off the sides and towards the tip to give them a better shape. And while I'm at it, let me show you what else I've done. That's the one I showed you earlier. I did some half or partial feathers, a part of a feather, 2 different angles. Then I have these smaller ones, which are really nice. I can't make 2 the same or I'd make earrings. But there's several of the smaller pieces. So what I'm using is made by SCM, and it is the Power Carver. Now I'm going to look for my paperwork on this because I just placed an order for new tips. So this, anyway, if I find it, I will insert it into this part of the video. Now I've got, this is the pen, tiny tips. I've got quite a collection of tips. These are, some are diamond tips, some are carbide tips. My hose to the oh my god, an air compressor on the other side of the wall, and I have it set to 450,000, I want to say RPMs because it's pretty darn fast. It's the same machine that people use for carving eggshells. So right now I've got a different tip. I want to change it. Now here's some of my tips, and I did order more, but first of all I just want a cutting tip. So what I've been using for the gore, for these pieces, I've kept over here on this corner so I know what to grab real quick. And it's easy enough just to pop the nib right out and put it back. I've had this machine, I bet, for 20 years. 20 years. I've not touched it for quite a long time, but I'm doing an antler show coming up this fall and I've got to get to cracking. So I have this piece of wood. I'm just going to stick my tip in there, give it a good press, and I'm ready to go. Except I need to add oil. Add a little oil, a couple drops every few hours. I only had to replace one part once, and that was maybe 7, 8 years ago. So I'm just putting this oil in here. Now this comes from the company, and there's quite a shopping list. I will leave you the link. The people are so very nice to work for, or to work with, I should say. I'm ready to go. But the first thing I want to do, which one should we actually work on? How about the little one? Might not take so long. I'm going to redraw my center line right up to the middle, and that's crooked, so either my tip is off or that is off, but we can fix that. Let me sand that off real quick. That looks better to me. Okay, so I've got my, let me see how much lead is in my pencil. And I'm going to start a little thick up here and bring this down to the point. This will be noisy. I'm going to mute it, but I'll let you see what I'm going to do with this piece. This is my on button right here. Stop. Okay, both sides. See, I still never picked up my rhythm, but it's rather a rough looking feather. But what I'm going to do now is I'm going to go through the edges and these sections that look really pitiful. So that'll be a word for today, pitiful. I'm going to go in and make notches like I've done here on this one. So if I go around with this same bit, I need to carve that, and Then I'll use the side of this and round up and clean up the top. And I'm not going to put holes in these right away because I'm not sure what actually I'm going to do with them or how I'm going to work with them. I just needed to make a bunch up for now. So let me go ahead and we'll try to make these look more. Alright, here we are. Did the best I could to kind of knock off the rough edges and make them a little rougher as maybe a older feather might be. So there you have it. I'm not going to, did I say that? Put holes in the top. I'm not sure what I'm going to do, but I'm going to add these to the collection. And next time, we're going to do something with all of these because I have something in mind. Should I give you a hint? Where's the other pieces? Don't know where I put them. Anyway, I'm going to use good old wood rounds and some other natural materials, and we're also going to use a small, this is a deer antler, small little buck. It's taken too young. Anyway, we'll do something with that. Until then, thanks for joining me. I hope you weren't too bored. I hope I did you a little bit of justice here, or myself a little justice. I always said I was going to do a carving of the feathers, and now I did it. So take good care, everyone. I'm sending big hugs. Please hit that like and subscribe button. Love to have you join me. We're slowly growing, so let's get to 2,500, please. We'll have a giveaway. Till then, hugs. Hi everyone. I found my paperwork from my last order on the SCM power carver, but this is just what they sent me with recent pricing for the different bits. And I've probably used all of these bits, and I've mainly carved antlers and gourds. This works like cutting butter on a gourd, I'll tell you what. We'll get into that too. But anyway, this is just my pricing sheet. They've got new collections of templates you can order. Western, there's, oh my goodness, there's wildlife, wedding designs, all kinds of designs. But it's a bit of an investment, but for me it was so well worth it. Like I said, I need to get carving for this next show coming up in September, so you might be seeing a few more carved pieces. So I'll let you get back to the video.